Good evening, children. Welcome to YEP Master, the school foundation program. I am your chemistry teacher. In the previous classes, we are looking at some of the questions, competitive examination questions that are appeared with respect to the alkane chapter. Okay. So today let us focus on some more concepts related to the chemistry, alkane chapter, the question and answer session. Okay. Then we start the next chapter, that is alkanes, in the next class. Okay. So some of the questions that are left or that we have not discussed in the case of alkane chapter as far as the competitive examinations are concerned. First one, if we observe here CH2 double bond CH2 plus hydrogen H2 in presence of nickel converting into CH3 CH3, this reaction is called, as I told you in the beginning of the alkane chapter, we are going to come across different name reactions. So as far as the competitive examinations are concerned, whether it is IIT, JEE or the NEET examinations, we expect some of the questions related to the name reactions. So I told you to write the name reactions on separate pages, okay. Please just mention the name of the reaction and the reaction, write it, and what is the catalyst used or what is the product that is going to be formed. If you remember a few points, you can easily score more marks with respect to the name reactions. Name reactions are very important as far as the organic chemistry is concerned, okay. So here it is a name reaction, alkene on hydrogenation converting into alkane in presence of a nickel catalyst. So the reaction is a name reaction, so we have to identify the name of this particular reaction. What is the name of the reaction? If we observe here, we can say it is first one is given as a Clemmensen reduction, Henderson reduction, Sabatier-Senderens reaction, Friedel-Crafts reaction. So we know we have, of course you have not heard about the Clemmensen reduction in the case of alkanes, and Henderson reaction also we have not heard, and Friedel-Crafts reaction also we come across in case of aromatic compounds. The Clemmensen reduction and Henderson reaction we have come across in the case of carbonyl compounds. So the name of the reaction, that is hydrogenation of alkene in presence of a nickel catalyst, is taken as Sabatier-Senderens reaction. Of course the hydrogenation of an alkene or alkyne can take place even in the presence of platinum and palladium, but when we are using nickel as a catalyst, that reaction is named as Sabatier-Senderens reaction. This is the first reaction which we have come across under alkanes chapter, okay, first name reaction, right. So you have to write all the name reactions in separate pages. Please revise once in a day, okay, so that it will be easy to remember, okay. The second one, if you observe CH3 taken 3 times CMgCl on reaction with the D2O. So this is one more method of preparation of alkanes, one more method of preparation of alkane. Alkane can be prepared by the reaction of Grignard reagent with compounds having active hydrogens. So here we can, instead of using water, they are using D2O, that is deuterated water is used. So we know that whenever a Grignard reagent RMgX is Grignard reagent. So with this Grignard reagent, when it react with the active hydrogen, what is going to happen? So the active hydrogen will be attached to the R group and thereby we get RH. So the corresponding alkyl will convert into alkane. Grignard reagent is alkyl magnesium halide. Grignard reagent, that is alkyl magnesium halide, on reaction with a compound having active hydrogens, it will convert into corresponding alkane. So the alkane is obtained with respect to the alkyl group that we are going to employ. So here what is used is CH3 taken 3 times CMgCl, that is tertiary butyl magnesium chloride. Tertiary butyl magnesium chloride is the compound used here. So otherwise we can elaborate this one also, so that it will be easy for you to understand how the groups are located. So CH3, C, CH3, CH3, MgCl. So this is the moiety that is given, okay. So instead of water here we are using D2O, that is deuterated water, heavy water is used, okay. So here active hydrogen is deuterium. So this deuterium will go and sit with the carbon atom of the alkyl group which is linked with the magnesium, and this will go out, okay, and thereby what we get is CH3, CH3, CH3 downside, and this side we are going to get the D, that is deuterium. Deuterium, you know, it is one of the isotope of hydrogen. So, active component deuterium is coming and attacking the carbon of the tertiary butyl group, and thereby we get a D in this case, and we corresponding, what is the compound here obtained? It is the isobutane, but of course with a hydrogen, instead of hydrogen we have a deuterium in its position, okay. So, this is the compound that we can expect in the this particular reaction, okay. Let us see the option, so that CH3 taken 3 times CD. So, this is the correct option. CH3 taken 3 times CD. CH3 taken 3 times OD, no. CD3 taken 3 times OD, no. CD3 taken 3 times CD. So, this is not the product that we are going to expect in the Grignard reaction with a active hydrogen containing compound like water or alcohol, maybe carboxylic acids, okay. So, this is the product that we can expect, CH3 taken 3 times CD, okay. Right, let us see one more. The number of alkanes obtained on electrolysis of mixture of CH3COO Na, C2H5COO Na. So, here the coal base electrolysis is carried out, and during the coal base electrolysis what we are going to get is the free radicals, alkyl free radicals are obtained. These alkyl free radicals will react together and we get corresponding alkane. For example, if we are employing CH3COO Na, sodium acetate, when it is employed in coal base electrolysis, the product we are going to get is CH3. So, whatever may be the R group that is present here, it becomes double. So, 2 times we are going to take, and the 2 groups, R groups will be linked with one another, and we get CH3. So, ethane is going to be produced in the coal base electrolysis under, if we are using only sodium acetate, okay. Let us assume if we are using only the sodium propanoate. What is sodium propanoate? C2H5COONA. C2H5COONA is sodium propanoate. So, when we are using only sodium propanoate, what happens? The corresponding R group, it will be dimerized. So, it will get C2H5 linked with another C2H5. This is what we have discussed under coal base electrolysis, okay. So, if we are employing only this carboxylic acid sodium salt, we end up with the formation of this product. If we are employing this carboxylic acid sodium salt, we end up with the formation of this product. But in this case, what they have given? They have taken a mixture of both these. They have taken the mixture of these two, and how many number of alkanes we can expect? Anyway, if this is undergoing electrolysis, we get one compound, and this is undergoing electrolysis, we get one compound. But of course, as I told you, this reaction proceeds via the formation of free radicals. So, free radicals, methyl free radical and ethyl free radical may also react with one another. In that case, what are the different products that we are going to get? So, here CH3COONA and C2H5COONA, both these are electrolyzed. Both these sodium salts of carboxylic acids are electrolyzed, that is sodium acetate as well as sodium propanoate, both are electrolyzed. In that case, we get methyl radical and ethyl radical. Methyl radical will react with one another and we get ethane as a product, okay. And ethyl radical will react together, we get butane as a product. Even there is a possibility that methyl radical and ethyl radical can react with one another, and we get C2H5CH3, that is propane. So, we are going to end up with the formation of ethane, butane and propane. So, 3 different alkanes can be expected when we are carrying out the electrolysis process for the mixture of 2 different carboxylic acids. If we are employing only the first one exclusively, we are getting only one alkane, okay. But when we are taking the 2 carboxylic acid sodium salt in a mixture, in that case if we carry out the electrolysis process, so first corresponding one alkane corresponding to the first carboxylic acid can be obtained, second alkane corresponding to the second carboxylic acid can be obtained, and third one is mixture of these two. So ethyl radical as well as methyl radical both react together and we get propane as a product. So in this case, three different alkanes can be obtained. One is ethane, other is propane, third one is butane. So we know that as we have discussed the free radicals, the reaction intermediates, there we have come across the reactivity of free radicals is very high. Since the reactivity of free radicals is very high, they combine in any fashion. So automatically here methyl radical can combine, ethyl radical can combine, or methyl and ethyl radicals both can combine with one another and we get three different alkanes. Ethane, propane, butane are the products that we are going to get in this particular reaction. Okay. Let us see the options. Yeah, they have given only the number. So how many alkanes we can expect? We can expect the three different alkanes. Ethane, CH3, CH3, C2H5, C2H5, that is butane, and C2H5, CH3, propane. So three different alkanes can easily form when we are carrying out the coal base electrolysis reaction for a mixture of sodium acetate as well as sodium propanoate. Okay, right. So correct answer is C, that is three alkanes can be expected in the reaction. Yeah, RRCO is not converted to RRCH2. So here keto is given. This is RCOR is keto group. We can classify the organic compounds based on the functional group present in it as alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, alkyl halides, alcohols, aldehydes and ketones, carboxylic acids, carboxylic acid derivatives, ester, acid chlorides, acid anhydrides and acid amides. And similarly we can look at the nitrogen compounds, nitroalkanes, okay, amines. Again in case of amines we can have primary amines, secondary amines, tertiary amines, cyanide, alkyl cyanides, cyano groups as well as we can have isocyanide also. Okay. So different alkanes or different organic compounds can be seen by the presence of different functional groups. Okay. So here what is happening, all the RCOR, that is keto group. Okay, this is ketone. We generally represent the ketone with the RCOR. Here this one is converting into RCH2R, that is alkane is obtained. So this is one more reaction from which we can expect the alkane formation. That is to say that it is a reduction reaction. We are removing the oxygen and adding the hydrogen. Okay, addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen is taken as a reduction reaction. So here reduction is going on, ketone is converting into alkane. So this is one more method of preparation of alkanes. But of course we have not discussed in our alkane chapter what we have discussed so far. We come across this one when we are dealing the carbonyl compounds. Okay, carbonyl compounds, when we are dealing about aldehydes and ketones, aldehydes and ketone can be reduced to corresponding alkanes by the use of the two different name reactions. What are they? First one is the Clemmensen reduction, other is the Woods reaction. What do you call the other one? Clemmensen is one, other is the Wolff-Kishner reaction. Wolff-Kishner reaction. These are the two name reactions that we come across when we are dealing the carbonyl compounds. Okay, but here what is given is keto group is not converted into alkanes by which are the following reactions. Okay, so here the keto aldehydes and ketones can be reduced to corresponding alkanes by Wolff-Kishner reaction as well as Clemmensen reduction. So here options are given. Wolff-Kishner reaction will convert this one to that one. Okay, Clemmensen will also convert the keto group into corresponding CH2. Even when we are treating the carbonyl compound, even carboxylic acids, when they are treated with the red phosphorus in presence of hydrogen iodide, red phosphorus in the presence of hydrogen iodide at very high temperatures at 200 degrees centigrade, we can convert the corresponding keto group into CH2. R groups will remain the same. This portion will remain the same in both the cases, whether it is a reactant or product. Only instead of oxygen we are going to have two hydrogens. So removal of oxygen and in that place addition of hydrogen takes place. We have one CO, so two H2s will be added to that particular moiety. Okay, and this conversion keto to alkane conversion or aldehyde to alkane conversion or carboxylic acid to alkane conversion is possible in the Wolff-Kishner reaction, Clemmensen reduction, and even in the presence of hydrogen iodide by the taking red phosphorus at high temperatures, the conversion is possible. But in the case of Hood's reaction, we have discussed what is Hood's reaction. Hood's reaction is 2 moles of alkyl halide when treated with the sodium in presence of dry conditions. What we are going to get? We get corresponding symmetrical alkane. So, alkane formation takes place from alkyl halide, but not from keto group. Okay. So, when you observe all the given options in this case, Wood's reaction employs only alkyl halide, but of course the Wolff-Kishner or the Clemmensen or the red phosphorus along with the hydrogen iodide will lead to the conversion of keto into corresponding alkane. So, this is not going to convert Wood's reaction. Under Wood's reaction, we are not going to convert the carbonyl compound into corresponding alkane. Okay. So, that can be done only by using Wolff-Kishner reduction or Clemmensen reduction or hydrogen iodide red phosphorus combination at high temperatures. Okay. So, these first 3 reactions will convert the keto into corresponding alkane, but not the fourth one. So, according to the given question, the fourth Wood's reaction will not convert the carbonyl compound into alkane. Okay. Yeah. If 20 ml of methane is burnt using 50 ml of oxygen. Okay. So, the volume of gases, what you have to identify? We have to identify the volume of gases left after cooling to room temperature. Okay. So, what we are doing? We are carrying out the combustion reaction. What is it? Reaction of alkane with oxygen is combustion. Okay. So, when combustion reaction is carried out, the products will be obtained and the total reaction mixture is cooled to room temperature. After cooling to room temperature, what will be the volume of gases? Okay, they are asking about gases. Okay, volume of gases that are going to be left in that particular reaction. So, in order to write the or in order to identify the volume of gases in this particular reaction, what we require? First, we have to write the balanced chemical reaction for the combustion of methane, or a balanced reaction between methane and oxygen has to be written. So, right, let us write the methane gas will react with oxygen gas. Okay, it will give corresponding carbon dioxide, okay, and water. Of course, when you cool to room temperature, water will be in liquid state. Okay, is it a balanced equation? No, it is not a balanced equation. Then in that case, observe how many carbons we have here. We have 1 carbon. Here also we have 1 carbon. Then balance the hydrogen atoms. Here we have 2 hydrogens. Here we have 4 and here we have only 2 hydrogens. So, in that case we have to write 2H2O. So, that the hydrogens are now balanced. But what about the oxygen atoms? In carbon dioxide we have 2 oxygen atoms. In case of water we have 2 oxygen atoms. So, total 4 oxygen atoms are there. But here if we have only 2 oxygen atoms, so let us take it 2, so that the number of oxygen atoms are balanced. Now, if you observe this equation, it is a balanced combustion reaction of methane. Methane reacting with the 2 moles of oxygen, carbon dioxide gas as well as 2 moles of H2O liquid is obtained. Okay. Of course, when the reaction is going on, huge amount of energy will be liberated. At that condition, generally water will be in water vapor state, it will be in gaseous state. But they are asking us to calculate the volume of the gases at room temperature. So, as soon as we cooled it to room temperature, water will be converted into corresponding liquid state from gaseous state. Okay. So, water will be in liquid state, carbon dioxide in gaseous state, oxygen is also gaseous state, methane is also in gaseous state. So, now according to this equation, according to the balanced equation, how many ml of methane will react with how many ml of oxygen? According to the Avogadro concept, if you observe, you can write when the reactants are in gaseous state, even the products if they are in gaseous state, we can apply the Avogadro concept in order to identify the number of moles. Instead of number of moles, we can take them in terms of volume. Okay. So, here methane 1 mole reacting with the 2 moles of oxygen, giving 1 mole of carbon dioxide, 2 moles of water. Okay. So, now if we are applying the concept of moles in the form of value to the reactants as well as the products, so we can say here 1 mole reacting with the 2 moles of oxygen, and we are getting 1 mole of carbon dioxide, okay, and of course 2 moles of water is obtained, 2 moles of water is obtained, okay. If we are going to take in terms of volume, let us say I am saying that 1 ml, 1 milliliter of methane will react with 2 ml of oxygen, giving 1 ml of carbon dioxide. Similarly, we can expect 2 ml of water, okay. So, according to the balanced equation, 1 mole of methane reacting with the 2 moles of oxygen giving 1 mole of carbon dioxide, 2 moles of water. We are applying now the Avogadro's concept in terms of volume. So, I am taking 1 ml of this one methane reacting with the 2 ml of oxygen giving 1 ml of carbon dioxide, 2 ml of water. So, we can write in this way when the reactants and products are in gaseous state, okay. Now, so here what is given exactly, how much amount of or how much volume of methane is given? Methane is given is 20 ml, okay. So, for 20 ml of methane, how much oxygen is required? Here we have seen that 1 ml require 2 ml of oxygen, 1 ml of methane require 2 ml of oxygen. So, if I am using 20 ml of methane, how much it is required? We know it is when you go for cross multiplication, we know that we are going to get 40 ml, okay. So, 40 ml of oxygen is required, but how much they are employing in the reaction? They are employing around 50 ml. So, excess amount of oxygen is used in this reaction, okay. So, for 20 ml of methane, only 40 ml of oxygen is required. So, when 40 ml is reacting with the methane, so how much we can expect the carbon dioxide? 1 ml of methane giving 1 ml of carbon dioxide. So, 20 ml of methane should give 20 ml of carbon dioxide, okay. So, let me write initially, I will remove this one. Let us write here we have taken 50 ml initially, okay, and there is no formation of these two, let us say initially before starting the reaction. Now, the reaction started, 20 ml of methane require 40 ml, so this is completely consumed. So, from 50 ml of oxygen, how much is used? 40 ml is used up. So, how much is remaining? So, 10 ml only 10 ml is remaining for oxygen. We are using 50 ml of oxygen for the reaction, but how much required? Required for the reaction is only 40 ml. So, 40 ml from 50 ml is utilized. How much remaining? 10 ml of oxygen is remaining, okay. In this case, when 1 ml of methane is reacting, 1 ml of carbon dioxide is obtained. So, when 20 ml is reacting, how much carbon dioxide we can expect? Yes, 20 ml only. So, we expect 20 ml of this one, okay, and 2 ml of water is going to be formed. So, we get 40 ml of water here, 2 into 20 it will be 40 ml of oxygen, sorry water, okay, 40 ml of water is going to be formed. But what they are asking only us to calculate the volume of the gases that are left while after cooling to the room temperature. Once the reaction is over, they have cooled the reaction mixture to room temperature. So, as soon as they cool to room temperature, water becomes liquid. So, we are not going to bother about the liquid, but carbon dioxide will be in gaseous state. So, we have to take the volume of carbon dioxide. Oxygen is also gaseous state. So, we should take the remaining amount of oxygen into consideration. Methane is also a gas. So, we have to consider the methane ml if it is remaining, but it is not remaining, it is completely utilized. So, it becomes 0 ml. So, no ml of methane is remaining, 10 ml of oxygen is remaining, and carbon dioxide 20 ml is formed. So, how much volume of gases are there in the reaction mixture after cooling to room temperature? 10 plus 20. So, how much we are going to get? We get 30 ml is the volume of gases that are left once the reaction is over, okay, when it is cooled to room temperature. If they are asking at high temperature, we have to consider even the volume of water when it is in gaseous form, okay. But they said that at room temperature, what is the volume of gases that are left? Oxygen left only 10 ml because 40 ml is utilized in the reaction and 10 ml is remaining, and in the reaction 20 ml of carbon dioxide is produced as a gas. So, 20 plus 10 ml of oxygen, total gases volume is 30 ml, 10 plus 20. So, total volume is 30 ml. Okay. So for these kind of questions, you have to write the balanced equation, then apply the concept of Avogadro in terms of volumes, and then calculate the volumes of the required components. Okay. Right. I think you got a clear idea from this particular question, right? Yeah. C is the correct answer. 30 ml of gaseous volume is left after the cooling the reaction mixture to room temperature. Okay. Yeah, it is a theory based, right? The increase in boiling point of alkanes with increase in the molecular mass is due to, when we are discussing the physical properties of alkane, there we have discussed the boiling points. As we go down in the alkane series or the homologous series of alkanes, with the increase in the molecular weight, the boiling point is going to increase. What is the reason behind it? Whether it is hydrogen bonding? No, we cannot expect a hydrogen bonding in the case of alkanes. Increased carbon atom? Yeah, of course, with the molecular mass, the carbon atom is increasing, but increase in the van der Waals force of attraction is the main reason. Increase in the van der Waals force of attraction increases the boiling point. Okay. Increase in tetrahedron size? No, it is not the correct answer, and increase in carbon atom is also not correct. Hydrogen bonding is not present in the case of alkanes. So, with the increase in the molecular mass, what is happening? Increase in the van der Waals force of attraction. As the van der Waals force of attraction between the particles increases, automatically the boiling point of the alkanes will also increase. Okay. Yeah, in the last class I think we have discussed this one, but it is, we have not given a correct explanation, right? So here it is a Woods reaction. It is very simple, alkyl halide reacting with the sodium giving product. So it is a Woods reaction. So when you observe the Woods reaction, the reaction is proceeding via the free radical formation. Reaction is proceeding via the formation of free radicals. So free radicals are going to be formed in the reaction. So here one of the carbon atom, this carbon atom is used as a carbon isotope. All carbon atoms present in the ring are C12, but one carbon atom is C14 isotope. So in that case, how many different products we can expect in the case of the particular Woods reaction? So here the first radical that is going to be formed. So this is the, of course, whenever the bond is going to be broken down between the carbon and halogen, we expect the formation of radical here. Okay. Since the radical and the double bond are in conjugation, so what we can expect? We can expect the resonance. So here this bond can undergo homolytical cleavage, and thereby we get one more radical. Of course, this is the carbon which is C14, and that carbon is now going to have the radical. So which is radical here? So radical is this one. Radical is this one. So the first, initially we have carbon atom, this carbon atom is a radical. Okay, here this carbon atom is having a radical. Now because of the delocalization of the pi electrons or the resonance that is taking place, now the 14 carbon also becoming a radical. Okay, 14 also having a radical position. So within the reaction mixture we have these two types of radicals. So how many different products we can expect in this case? So it is a simple thing that we can expect in this case also. For example, if these two radicals are reacting, okay, this radical in which the carbon 14 is involved in double bond, and one more radical that is going to be obtained, or the same radical is reacting. Okay, same radicals are reacting together in which the carbon atom which is 14 isotope is involved in double bond, so that we can get so this is the product that we can expect in the combination of the radicals that are involving the carbon C12 isotope, not the 14 isotope. 14 isotope is involved in double bond formation. Okay. So this is one product we can expect. For example, if the other product that we can expect is double bond here. So we have a carbon, and on this we have a radical, and it is reacting with one more the same radical in which carbon 14 is having the radical, and in that case what we are going to get? We are going to get a molecule alkane combination, I mean the dimerization takes place in the Woods reaction, But of course, if we observe here, this carbon will be having the carbon 14 isotope. Okay. So, carbon 14 isotope having radicals, if both are reacting together, we are going to get this combination. But suppose if these two are reacting, for suppose if these two are reacting, in that case we are going to get one more product. If a radical having C12 isotope, okay, carbon C12 which is having a radical or the unpaired electron, and in other case the radical in which the carbon 14 having the unpaired electron. If these two are reacting together, in that case we can expect one more product formation. So, here in this particular product, if we observe, one carbon atom involved in dimerization is C14, other is C12. So, this is how we can expect. So, when carbon having C12 isotope as radical, if they are two react together, we get one combination. If the carbon having the 14 as a radical, we get one product, and a combination of C12 radical as well as C14 radical, we get one more product. So, different products that we can expect in this case are 3. One is this one, other is this one more is this one. So, 3 different formations of alkanes in this case can be seen by the Wood reaction when we have one of the atom as a C14 isotope. Okay. So, 3 different products can be expected in this particular reaction. Okay. So, how many different alkanes are possible? 3 different alkanes are possible in this particular reaction. Okay. Right. Let us see one more. Yeah, X on reaction with soda lime giving Y. Y on reaction with the chlorine in the presence of UV light, we are getting Z. Z on reaction with the 2 moles of sodium dry ether, we are getting CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So, this is having a 4 carbons, so it is butane. So, we are getting butane as a product and 2 moles of sodium chloride. This reaction we know it is a Woods reaction. So, Z should be, what is the Z? Z should be alkyl halide, it should be alkyl halide. Okay. So, alkyl halide is forming from Y on reaction with the chlorine. We have discussed that alkanes, whenever they react with the chlorine or bromine in the presence of sunlight, the UV light, we get corresponding alkyl halide. So, Y should be alkane. What is Y? Y should be alkane. And again Y is obtained from X by soda lime reaction. So, here X should be, what is soda lime? Soda lime is used for decarboxylation process. So, decarboxylation of sodium salt of carboxylic acid takes place giving the corresponding alkane. So, X should be carboxylic acid. What is X? X should be carboxylic acid. So, corresponding sodium salt, okay, carboxylic acid corresponding sodium salt is the X. Okay. So, we have to identify what are X and Y in this particular reaction. Okay. Let me write the product CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So, this is obtained from the sodium reaction with the alkyl halide. We know that in a Woods reaction symmetrical alkanes are going to be formed. Okay. Symmetrical alkanes are going to be formed in the sense, so we should have only, so when I divide the product into 2 halves, we get a 2 carbon chain. So, what could be the Z in that case? It should be CH3, CH2. Since sodium chloride is obtained, so what should be the halogen that is present? It is Cl. So, it should be ethyl chloride. Ethyl chloride 2 moles will react with the 2 moles of sodium giving butane and 2 moles of sodium chloride. So, we have identified Z in this case. So, this is Z. What is that? Ethyl chloride is Z. Now, let us take ethyl chloride here CH3, CH2, Cl. So, this is obtained from reaction with the chlorine in UV light, okay, reaction with the chlorine and UV light. So, alkane, one of the hydrogen atom, we know that halogenation reaction is a substitution reaction. So, one hydrogen atom of alkane will get replaced with the halogen. So, if I am removing the halogen and keeping the hydrogen, then we can get the corresponding alkane. So, first carbon we have CH3, now I am replacing the halogen with hydrogen. So, we are going to get CH3, CH3. So, this is ethane. So, this is the Y in this particular reaction. Okay, so we got the Y as well. Now Y is obtained from X through the decarboxylation process, that is soda lime process. Okay, so soda lime process is used in order to get Y, means we should have a corresponding sodium salt of carboxylic acid. Sodium salt of carboxylic acid, if we are going to see here, what could be the X? So we know that whenever we carry out the carboxylation reaction, so one of the carbon atom will go out in the form of a carbon dioxide. So we should have 3 carbons in the case of this carboxylic acid. Okay, so if we are going to write the corresponding carboxylic acid, it should be CH3 CH2 COO Na. So it should be sodium propanoate. Sodium propanoate is X. Okay, ethane is Y, and Z is ethyl chloride. Okay, so we are going to get the corresponding ethane from the carboxylic acid under decarboxylation process using this soda lime, NaOH and calcium oxide. Under heating condition, what happened? One of the carbon will go out as carbon dioxide. So what could be the answer for this particular question? X is sodium propanoate, and Y is ethane, Z is ethyl chloride. So option D should be the correct answer in this particular case. Okay, sodium propanoate is X, Y is ethane, and other one is ethyl chloride. Okay, I think you have got the clear idea how to handle this one and how we are going to get the product, right? So first of all, you have to identify the, divide the molecule product into 2 halves to get the corresponding alkyl halide. Alkyl halide is obtained from the alkane. Alkane on reaction, obtained from the corresponding sodium salt of carboxylic acid. Okay, students, I think you got a clear idea about this particular question, right? Right. When ethane is heated to high temperature in absence of air or oxygen, what is we are going to get? Absence of air and oxygen. So automatically we get corresponding carbon and hydrogens. So carbon and hydrogen should be the option that we are going to expect from ethane, or even ethane, it is an alkane. So when we are carrying out the pyrolysis process at high temperature, we can expect the CH2 double bond CH2 plus hydrogen. So this can also be the product in this case. Okay, so hydrogen carbon or maybe the hydrogen and alkene can be obtained in the reaction. So this can be one more product in this case. Okay, normal octane and normal nonane have what they are going to have? Same molecular formula, same molecular weight, similar chemical property, same boiling point. Okay, so same molecular formula, no, we cannot expect. One is octane, other is nonane. One is 8 carbon chain, other is 9 carbon chain. So molecular weight is different, molecular formula is different, they have different boiling points. What they will have? They will have similar chemical properties. Okay, so similar chemical properties are possessed by normal octane as well as normal nonane. Students, I think you have enjoyed today's class. We are going to see some more interesting concepts along with the discussion of the next organic compounds that are alkenes. Okay, until then, have a nice time. Thank you.